Ada comes in, we have to increase our happiness. Increase happiness means that happiness already exists, yes or no? Yeah, it already exists, and you have to increase it. Make sense? So we want to know what is my inner happiness and what is it that I'm increasing as well. Ken, Mata Rishon. Oh, you're just fixing your hand? Yeah. I was getting excited there. Okay.
I was born in this month, you know?
Really? Now I know.
I'm not the first one.
So that's even more. That's the month where Purim is.
Is it this year or not?
No.
Is it this year?
No.
No, we don't know.
So you celebrate your birthday on this month.
6 years old.
Okay, so the word, we have to know that the word simcha in Hebrew is the same letters as machshava. I wrote this down. Besimcha is the same letters as machshava, which means it's a thought. If you want to be happy, you just have to think. And the word simcha is the same Hebrew letters as chamisha, which means 5. Why? Because happiness touches all of your senses. If you are happy, you know it. You feel an intense joy deep within, and it's expressed on your entire body, all over. Not just a little bit in one area, or, yeah, I'm happy because I have a good job. No. In every part of me, all my bones feel joy. That's what we want. Okay? That's your goal. Why is this important? Because your health, your success, and all relationships, and everyone around you depend on this. You can literally go into a job and lose it because you weren't happy enough. You can go on a date and, nah, not for me, because you weren't giving off the right vibes. You could have changed your vibes over the years, and you could be a different person. Your happiness really changes everything. And more than anything, your health. Happiness changes your health. If you're happy, your heart is beating differently. Your blood is pumping differently. Everything's more calm. You're not looking for more. Happiness affects your organs inside. Do you understand how important this is? Mitzvah gdola liot besimcha. Tamid besimcha. V'avadta et Hashem Elokecha besimcha ubetuv levav. It says in the Torah that one of the reasons why all of our problems come is because we don't serve God with happiness. We complain. Life is suffering. We don't look at the good. Okay, so let's look at the 10 commandments to being happy. Number 1. Don't wait. Start now. Some people say, oh, I'll be happy when I get my job. I'll be happy when I go on a trip. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I have a kid. I'll be happy when my kids get older. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I get divorced. Do you get what's going on here? You keep making it what we call a moving target, and then you're never happy because you're always thinking of the future. You have to be in the moment. That means, yes, it's true you don't have the perfect job. Yes, it's true you are still studying and you're trying to get more money and you're trying to make more. But if you can't be happy now, you won't be happy later. Now is the time to be happy. Machshava, okay? In your thoughts, it's in your head. So begin your journey of joy immediately. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Choose joy today. You know why? Because if it's not good now, it won't be better later. Do you know why? Because you get older. You can take one. We're right now on the first one. In order to achieve happiness, number 1 is don't wait. Don't say later on. It's now. Okay? If you wait to be happy, then what's controlling your happiness? External factors. I'm waiting till I have money. I'm waiting till I have a job. I'm waiting till I have more. Then what's controlling your happiness? Not you. And according to Torah, simcha is machshava. It's the same letters. It's in you. It's here. You just have to switch your mind, and then you don't wait. You can start now. Okay, so it's all here. Any ideas of how somebody who's thinking, I'm not happy now, I don't have a job, how they can snap into joy right now? Any ideas? Switch.
Gratitude.
Okay, gratitude. It's one of the 10 commandments. Yes? Giving, okay. These are things that you can do immediately. And they will snap your exercise. Did you say that? Yes? Jim, get out.
Get the job. Actually get the thing.
Okay, put in the effort. Take initiative. All right, we're getting all the commandments here. What was that?
Starting?
What did you say? Starting?
Starting.
Yeah, starting.
Is that the S?
Yeah.
Treat others with respect.
Spirituality.
Spirituality.
Get the A on the test. That's a good call.
There you go. I was looking
I don't know what you're saying.
From the Lord Congress.
From Don Corbis, Tana.
for Jack, bro.
Okay, number 2 is choose better surroundings. You cannot be happy if people are complaining around you. You cannot be happy if your boss is complaining. I don't care what job you have. If it's moan, or politics, complaint, and then you go home and more complaints, then that's not a healthy, when a child, one of the signs that a child's not growing up in a healthy space is if the child always tries to leave the house. Now, it's important to leave and get out and be healthy, like we said, but if it's because of an unhealthy environment, then we understand why the child's running away. Because happiness is very much to do with your surroundings. Like I said, it's a state of mind. If your state of mind is trying to be good and positive, and it's like a muscle. It's like you go to the gym to work out healthy. You've got to go to your brain gym, which no one's doing enough, to make sure you're happy. We've got to also go to our brain gym. And that's what we're talking about, to make simcha in the head. So one of the things that we've got to do is constantly working it in the head, in the way we think. Okay, so second thing is choosing surroundings. Avoid negativity. Distance yourself from harmful influences. Surround yourself with uplifting people who inspire or offer constructive rebuke. That's an important one. We don't want somebody that's only going to say, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you're brilliant. You're awesome. Yeah, that's not a good friend. When the rabbis say, Kne lecha chaver, buy yourself a friend, in Pirkei Avot, the commentary says there, Rabbeinu Yonah says, even if he's going to rebuke you, even if he's going to tell you off, because he's on a higher level, or she's on a higher level. So you've got a friend now that's pushing you. Come on, man, you could do better than that. Good. Get a friend that rebukes you, but it has to be done with love. Okay, so rebuke is not negativity. It's two different things. Negativity is complaining about their family, complaining about the surroundings, and not looking at the grateful good that's happening around you. That's somebody who's not healthy. Don't be around them, okay? So, here's a limit exposure to negative news and social media. I think all news is negative, so just limit news and social media, okay? Because, why social media?
It's pointless.
Pointless.
It also gives you what you keep searching for. So, like the algorithm kind of gives you exactly what you, so if you think negatively and you search for something, it's going to keep giving you that type of
Right, it feeds,
content.
and also it tells you what you don't have. Ads. It's always telling you what you do not have. So you're like, oh, my life is so bad. I have nothing. I'm suffering, right? It tells you what you don't have. Here, we have a... So that's that. Very good. So listen to the story. The Chazon Ish once made a joke that caused the boy to laugh. What happened? This boy swallowed a coin and he was choking on the coin. So he was a neighbor of a great rabbi. We're talking in the 60s. The neighbor of the great rabbi, the Chazon Ish in Bnei Brak, in a very religious community. He was like a wondrous rabbi. So they went to him and they said, Rabbi, this kid is choking. He's the neighbor. They called the ambulance also, but they first went to the rabbi. Rabbi, the baby's choking. So he says, take him to the Panovich Rebbe, another rabbi that lived there. He knows how to pull people's money out of deep within their hidden places. Meaning, he's a rabbi that's really good at fundraising. Go to him. He'll be... And everyone started laughing. The kid didn't know what was going on, but he heard everyone laugh so hard that he also laughed and the coin came out. What's the moral of the story?
With
That-
the right people, sorry.
What, go on,
The
what?
right people, you can overcome the...
Yeah, if you're in a surrounding where everyone's laughing, then even if you don't even know why they're laughing,
contagious.
it's contagious. You don't even know why they're laughing, it makes the coin come out your mouth. Right? It keeps you healthy. So that's the story. That's why this month, the rabbis say, this is the month of Adar, it's good time. The whole month. If you want to plant something, plant it now. There's a blessing, When you plant things, you're not guaranteed that they will plant well. They won't grow well, guaranteed. We had a random tomato growing outside the crack of my garage door in the back. You couldn't believe it. A whole bunch of tomatoes growing, cherry tomatoes. Random. How the heck did that get there? One of my kids probably ate a cherry tomato, didn't eat it, dropped it on the floor, it rolled into in between concrete where there's a crack, and then tomatoes started growing. Amazing. So even things that grow, sometimes you can plant them, they wouldn't grow. And sometimes they plant by themselves and they grow. Planting is something that needs bracha. So the rabbis say, plant something, plant it now. Are you doing a business deal? Do it now, this month, coming up. Thursday night is going to be Adar. Why? Because the energy is of joy. The energy is of blessing. And when there's energy of joy, it affects the plants. Wait a second. The plant that I'm growing is going to be affected by the month that's to do with a story that happened? Yeah. When the Jewish people, as us, collectively, are in an environment of joy, it affects everything around you. And that's what happened to this kid. So being in good surroundings is very, very important. Question, how do I know if people around me are not good for me?
They make you feel gross.
They don't make you feel good, okay. Anything else? What's a sign? God, in what aspect do they make you not feel good?
They bring you down. Like
Bring you down,
Yeah, they're pushing you in a direction that you don't want to be in.
wrong direction.
Victim mentality. It's always everything is.
Yeah,
Your vibe sucks.
right. How you feel after you're with them. This is my happiness measure, always. How you feel after. After you're with them, are you like, oh, that was so annoying. Oh, that was so horrible.
I think it's a bit of relief.
Huh?
A bit of relief.
Yeah, relief that they're not around me. But that feeling that I had when I was with this person, the vibes were not good. That's what I'm talking about after, when I was with them. Okay, next. Oh, it went to 11? Is that doing that for you?
No, it's one
Oh, okay, fine, 2. Okay, number 3, give generously. You guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Every Jewish holiday that commands us to rejoice, all the holidays. What holidays do we have? Sukkot, Pesach, Shavuot, the 3 big holidays. What does it say in the Torah? V'samachta b'chagecha. You should be happy on your holiday. Interesting. All of those specific holidays, there's a commandment to give. Always. Matnot aniyim. It comes to Passover, we have a commandment to give money, ma'ot chitim. The first thing in Jewish law when it comes to Passover is give money to the poor. Give them money so that they, how do we start on Passover? Anyone who's hungry, come and eat. That's how we start. If you look at every holiday, which the Torah tells us be happy, it also tells us to give money. Give charity. So that's because it goes hand in hand. Okay? Purim in particular, what's the holiday of Purim? We give matanot la'evyonim. On the actual day, we have a requirement to give gifts to the poor. So you see that if you want to be happy, this is a holiday of happiness, it always entails giving. So literally, it works. If you feel a little down, every person here should have a small tzedakah box in his house. And whenever you feel a little down, take out a few pennies and put it in. It will change you. Feel down? Feel down, it's a physical act that can give you a lot of benefit. Okay? It doesn't need mental change, but the act of giving as opposed to taking would feed your neshama and it will make you very, very happy. Obviously, we're talking on a bigger scale, right? If somebody's empty his whole life and all he does is give, sometimes it could justify the feeling of emptiness, and it can make you feel, okay, I'm doing something. So in general, you've got to do more than that, but that's already something that can change everything. Okay, there's something that I wanted to say. There's a story of the Abarbanel, Don Yitzchak Abarbanel, when they were kicked out of Spain in 1492. So one of the heads of the finance was a Jew, and he was a big, big rabbi. His name was the Abarbanel. He wrote the Akedat Yitzchak, some of the great commentaries on the Torah, and the king comes to him And he says to him that he was already very anti-Semitic, but he knew that Abarbanel was the best. He was a brilliant man, brilliant mind, genius, and he knew exactly what he's doing for his country, Spain. They were doing really well under him. And the story's told that they didn't, everyone was going on about this guy, he's a Jew, he's a Jew, he's a Jew. Get rid of him, we hate the Jews. And the king knew that he loved him. He loved Abarbanel. He said, this guy is helping our country. What are you talking about? We need him. So at some point, they made a claim that he is l'chaim. They made a claim that he is stealing a tremendous amount of money from the government and no one knows about it. And he's stealing all of our money. So they said, what, he's stealing our money? And the king knew that it's not true. But he said, you know what, well, let's test him. So he goes one day, Ferdinand, he goes to Rav Dan Yitzchak Abarbanel, and he says to him, how much money exactly do you earn? What is exactly the amount of money you have? So the rabbi says, oh, no problem. He says, I'll give you a day. He says, no, I know exactly how much I have. He takes out from his pocket a small little note. He says, I have this and this amount of money, $25,000, whatever it is, right? I have this and this amount of money. The king knows for sure he has more than that. He's a very wealthy man. There's no way that he has that much money. He hears that he's lying, even though he knows that this doesn't make sense because he trusts him. Immediately take him to the prisons. Chain him. They chained him up, put him in prison. And what happens? After a day, the king's thinking to himself, it can't be. He knows, I know he owns much more. Why is he lying? He's not lying. He goes back to him, and in prison, the king walks into the prison, and he says to him, why did you tell me that much money? I know you made much more. So he says, that money that I told you is all the money that I gave charity. That's the money that I have with me forever. And no one can change that. Look, you took my money away. In 1 minute, you took me away from my money. You took me away from my wife, my kids, you put me in prison. But something you can never take, no one can ever take from me, is the amount of money I gave charity. And I have in my pocket exactly how much money I've given to charity over the years. And you ask me how much did I earn? This is how much I earn. To me, that's what I earn. What I give to others is what I earn, nothing else, because that can never be taken away from me. Okay, so that's the greatness. Okay, that's a great story, but that's the greatness of giving. That's something that never goes away from you. Taking goes away. You take $20, you use it, gone. You spend $20 on someone else, that stays with you. The idea of giving stays with you forever. Okay, number 4. Don't let what you lack control you. Okay, this is pretty obvious. Ezu ashir asameach bechelko. Okay, commandment 4. Don't let what you lack control you. Don't say, I don't have a car, so therefore my life is worthless. I don't have a job, so therefore my life is worthless. I'm not married, I'm trying to get married, my life is worthless. I don't have kids, so my life is... No, stop with all of that. Ezu ashir asameach bechelko. Don't let it control you. It's okay to be ambitious for things, but don't let it control you. Here's the story in the Torah. Haman had power, wealth, and status. He had everything. He was the second in the story of the Megillah. He was the second in command. It was Achashverosh and Haman. And Haman said, let's kill all the Jews. And Achashverosh agreed. And he put the signature. He couldn't bear the Jews. And what was bothering him more than anything? He had all the money in the world. He had wealth. Anything he wanted. He had the biggest palace. He had a family, everything. One thing was bothering him, the Torah says, the Megillah says. What was it? That Mordechai is not bowing down to me. Look, all this is worthless to me. V'chol zeh enenu shov li, he says in Hebrew. Why? Because Mordechai enenu korea b'mishtachave li. He's not bowing down to me. One thing that bothers me, the head of the Jews isn't looking to me and bowing down to me. He should be bowing to me on the floor like everybody else does. And it bothers, that's it. You have it all. No, that's one thing that he's missing. See, that's what wicked does. Evil says, I have so much, but it's worthless. This is Amalek. Everything you have is worthless because you don't have that. And all that you have is nothing. That's Amalek. That's the language of Amalek. What happened when Jacob meets Esav, his brother? Esav is the father of Amalek, the haters of the Jews throughout history. Hitler, all of them were directly descendants of Amalek. So Esav, Jacob and Esav, the two brothers, Jacob's about to meet his brother after thinking for many years that he's going to kill him. He comes and his brother, he knows his brother wants to kill him. So Jacob's about to meet his brother and he sends him gifts. And then eventually he meets Esav. And what does Esav say? Yeshli Rav. I have a lot. What does Jacob say? Does anyone know?
Nothing.
Yeshli Kol. Jacob says, I have everything. What's the difference between saying I have a lot and I have everything? Huh?
You have all you need, like you're satisfied.
If I say, what's better? To say I have everything or I have a lot?
If you have a lot, you can always have more.
Huh?
If you have a lot, you can always have more.
Right. So what's better? Who's a happier person? Someone who says, I have everything. Jacob, the way of a Jew is to say, I have everything, but I don't. I know. But everything I have, I really enjoy it. I have everything. Count your blessings. That is simcha. Okay, so Ezu Ashir Samech B'Chagol. This is the difference between Esav and Jacob. The story of Haman versus Mordechai. Haman is the one that instills within us uncertainty. What's the uncertainty? What you have is nothing. You're Jewish people. What? You guys are nothing. You don't even have history. No one likes you. And what do we say? Are you kidding me? We have the best gift ever. A guide to living. Morals, values, all of it. It's all with us. We have it. What a gift. Okay. So true wealth comes from appreciating what you have, right? Ezu Ashir, who is rich? Who is wealthy? Someone who is happy with what he has. What's Ashir in Hebrew? Enayim, Shinayim, Yadayim, and?
Ashir is rich.
Yeah, Ashir stands for Enayim, Shinayim, Yadayim, and Raglayim. Eyes, teeth, hands, feet. My basic human ability. Right? What's the minimum of being happy? Yes?
So how is that tied to being rich?
Because someone who's wealthy is able to be happy with what he has, not what he doesn't have.
So it means the opposite though.
What do I have?
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth. This is what it means. What happens, you're asking a good question. What happens if I have no money? I'm poor. Is there a limit? The Mishnah says, who is happy? Who is wealthy? Someone who's happy with what he has. What happens if I have nothing? I am poor, I'm homeless, and I live in no... Right? What happens if somebody's got no home?
It could always be worse.
How can they be happy? Oh, what does the rabbi say? The Midrash says. What's the minimum? Do you know what the minimum is? How can it be worse? Do you know what the minimum is?
You could be dead.
You could be blind.
The minimum is that you're alive.
You could be ugly. There you go.
The fact that you're alive is already enough. Okay? You remember the story? I'll tell it again. I'm sure some of you have heard this before. You remember the story? The guy that's very wealthy and he wants to buy himself a beautiful mansion and he has he's billions of dollars and he's trying to buy the mansion but he gets outbid. He's a billionaire and he gets outbid. On his way home he's depressed. Ugh, I got outbid. Someone else got more money than me. He managed to buy it. But as he's on his way home in his beautiful Ferrari, he drives past the jewelry store and he sees a friend of his that he normally buys his jewelry from. Every Shabbat he buys his wife a new diamond. So he drives past the store and he sees the owner and he waves to him. The owner's closing shop. And he's thinking to himself, those days where I used to work in a shop. How can I be sad? I'm sad. I don't work in a shop anymore. I don't even have to do that anymore. I have passive income. I don't even have to. Wow. Why am I so sad? How can I be sad? But then he's sad. He's saying to himself, look at that guy with a beautiful Ferrari. When am I going to have my beautiful Ferrari? And he's sad. He's not got enough. He's not got billions. So then he's sad. The jewelry store owner's sad. He's on his way home and he stops at Ralph's. He goes into Ralph's and he sees the lady that's working at the desk is happy. And he says to himself, how can I be sad? I own a jewelry store business. And she works in Ralph's. How am I sad? And she's happy. So he decides to go home happy. And then the lady at Ralph's, she starts getting sad. She says to herself, look at that guy with a beautiful suit. I'm working behind beep, 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 beep all day. Come on. I want a better job. And she's getting upset and she starts being sad. And on her way home, she gets in a car. She's on her way home. She sees a homeless guy. Right? And it's anything will help. Whatever. Broke, but not broke. Or whatever. Right? Something. He's got a big sign and it's saying something on it. And she goes past and she says to herself, how can I be sad? I'm sad. Look at him. He's got no home. He's waiting for money. And then that guy, he's got no home to go to, but he walks out sad and he realizes, oh, look, I wish I had a car, a normal way of living. I wish I can work at Ralph's, the homeless guy says to himself. And he starts getting depressed. And as he's on his way back to his shelter, he sees a homeless guy without legs being pulled in a wheelchair, pushed in a wheelchair. And he's like, wow, this is crazy. Goes up to him and he says to him, excuse me, I'm sorry, but I'm suffering, but you're happy and you're homeless and without legs. How are you so happy? He says, well, just the other day I was in an accident and I was with some of my friends and the accident happened. All my friends died. It was a terrible accident and I'm the only one that survived. And I'm just happy to be alive. Says the Midrash, this is what it says, Dai shechai, it's enough that you live. You don't have to think of, I don't work in a jewelry store to be sad or to be happy. No. The fact that you are alive is already enough. You can meditate on life itself and be happy. You have eyes, you have family. What do you have? Meditate on those and be happy. Okay, so Ezu Ashir Hasameach Bechelko. Don't let what you lack control you. Okay, that's number 5. Number 4. Number 5, grow in gratitude. Now, how do you become more grateful? Say thank you. Right? Say thank God every time. Baruch Hashem. Do you know that many people?
Use what you're good at.
Okay, yeah, you live what. But what happens if you are and it's not working?
Get better at it.
Spend time.
See, but I feel like that could be a little dangerous because now you're entering the world of where I'm at is not good enough, and therefore I need to. If you're putting your effort just to be more successful, great. But right now I'm not feeling happy, and I want to look at these 10 commandments. Okay, so what can I do? I need to answer all of these questions. Am I growing in gratitude? That is a question I need to ask. How do you grow in gratitude? Yeah, you were going to say something?
Spend time with people that uplift you.
Okay, we said, okay, so that's positive surroundings. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's read it. A grateful heart creates a joyful life. Regularly thank those who are kind to you. No one says you shouldn't thank people that are not kind, but at least minimum. Start making sure that you are grateful to those that were kind to you. There's friends that helped you. Did you call them and say thank you? There's someone that helped you get a job. Have you been in touch with them, or they're not cool enough for your circle, so you're not in touch with them anymore? It was only useful for when they were giving me a job. Make sure you are filled with gratitude. Okay? It strengthens relationships and brings inner peace. Question. When the Torah, is it a mitzvah to be grateful? Always. Because Judaism, always. Everything we do, we make a bracha. Right? Every time we eat, we say thank you. We go to the bathroom, we say thank you.
You always have something to be grateful for, right?
Right. So anyone could think of a direct mitzvah that requires us to be grateful, and it's always. It's something that needs to be done always. Do you know what it is?
Living.
Well, you live, that's not your choice. Is living a mitzvah? Yeah. Not killing yourself is a requirement. You should live for Judaism. But you're living by default. Right? What's the mitzvah of gratitude? You know, loving God. When we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and then we say Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha. Love God. How do you love God? One of the ways you love God is thinking about all the good He did to you until this moment. All the good. Every day you're driving, you have a car, thank God. You thank God you're doing a mitzvah of V'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha. And it's a mitzvah timidit. It's one of the 6 mitzvot that you can do at every second of the day.
Do you think he takes it away from you if you don't do that?
No. There's people that are not grateful and they have a lot of money. Right? But you take away your happiness if you don't do that. Does that make sense? We're talking about your state of mind and your happiness. God gives abundance to everybody. There's a tremendous amount of blessing coming into the world. Sometimes we lock doors because we're not happy. Because we're not grateful, we ourselves are locking our own doors. But not necessarily that God's saying, oh, you're not grateful, therefore I'm not going to give you. It doesn't work like that. We hurt ourselves by not being grateful. Because even as the most ungrateful person, how is he alive? He should be grateful for that. Right? How is he living? Everything you have, even the most ungrateful. So the fact that God is continuously sustaining you, even the most ungrateful person. But the question is, for my happiness, we're talking about the 10 commandments of happiness. Am I happy? The answer is, am I grateful? And if I'm not grateful enough, okay, how else are we grateful in Judaism? How can I be more grateful? Thanking God, okay. What else can I do to be more grateful?
Stop comparing.
Stop comparing is one of the 10 commandments, okay. It all connects. Why are we not grateful? Why is it hard for us to be grateful? Okay, we focus on what we're missing. We get used to what we have. So we're like, okay, eyes. Thank God for eyes. Come on, man.
Humans always want more.
I remember being on a flight and birds went in the engine. And it was like, and it was awkward. And then they said, oh, we have to land. We have to go back down. And then the person in front of me with her kids was like, oh, this is so annoying. We have to... I want to be on time for school. My kids are going to be late for school tomorrow now. And then she's complaining. And at some point she's like, this is just ridiculous. So she looked at me. So I said, thank God we're alive. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, gratitude, she forgot. Like, hello, we almost died. You know? We didn't, we're fine. So let's at least...
Tell her to be happier, not the birds right now.
Right, exactly. Oh, no, okay, fine. But that was just a moment where I realized growing gratitude. Okay. Why are we also not happy? Let me tell you one reason. Do you know why? Because we are created, this is a spiritual reason, we are created in the formation of God. We are a piece of God. We are very spiritual. We have a similarity to God, and that means we want to be independent. I want to do this on my own. I don't need you. And it's very hard when someone helps me for me to tell them thank you. That's why in Hebrew the word for thank you is hoda'ah, modeh, and it means to admit also. What are you admitting? That I needed you. It's humiliating to go in a room and say, thank God that I'm healthy, right? In a way. It's not you. We think it's humiliating, right? Oh, thank God I'm healthy. Thank God. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for being there for me. It sounds almost like I'm unable to do anything. And we can't have the humility, deep down, we should have it, we can't have the humility to admit that I really need. I'm not infinite. I'm not an unlimited being. It takes a certain sense of humility to be grateful. And arrogance gets in our way and blocks us. Make sense? So that's why. Who's the first person that didn't say thank you?
The last person will say thank you.
Who is the first person in the Torah that didn't say thank you? First person. Who was the first person in the Torah? Adam. What did he do? Do you remember? He ate from the tree, and what did he do? God says, why did he do it? Who did he blame? He blamed Chava. He says, that woman that you gave me, she gave it to me and I ate. Instead of saying, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. That woman that you gave me, can you, hello, I gave you that beautiful woman. And that's what you did. Chava. Hashem created her from him. He gave him a gift. He said, it's not good for you to be alone. He created her from him, and then they put them together, and then you blame God for that woman that you gave me? It's like, that gift, imagine I'm getting you a gift, and you're like, that gift you gave me, it's so annoying. It's like, how can you do that? Okay. Next. So that's gratitude. And it's a mitzvah of loving God. Okay, number 6, seeing through physical illusions. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of times, this is part of suffering. Okay, let's just read it. Everything physical is made of atoms, mostly empty space. They say, if you take the electrons, right, and the distance of the electron from the nucleus in the middle is extremely far. It's like putting a little pin in the middle of a soccer stadium and the electrons on the outside. That's how distant they are. Just to understand how much space is in every atom. So all of reality is made of what? Mostly space. So how do we see what we see? The answer is because it all moves. So when there's a lot of movement, what do you have? You have what you see. This is mainly nothing, just space. But because it's moving so fast, it comes like a plate. It looks like something that's real, but it really is just mostly nothing. Okay, all of Earth, all of physical matter is air, is just nothingness. What does that tell me? That when you pursue it so much, what's it really going to give you? Yeah, it gives you a bit of honor, it gives you respect. It's important to work. But don't think that because I'm lacking this money or this style of clothing, or I don't have this, I'm nothing. This is the physical illusion. Don't be fooled by the physical illusion. Okay? Just like physicality is empty space, so is materialism. It's all fleeting. We don't take it with us, and it's not permanent. It's all temporary. Your clothes die out. Everything dies out. Everything that you have right now will wear out. Your car will wear out. Your house will wear out. Everything. It's all puff. So what really matters? Only spirituality is real and lasting. Only connecting to God. That's why it says Hashem Elokim. We say in Shema, Hashem Elokechem Emet is truth. God is the source of truth. So the only real thing that's real for us to connect to is spirituality. Yes?
Do you do so without being religious, do you think? Without keeping Shabbat, without keeping kosher?
I think that there's Eastern civilizations and cultures that are more disconnected from materialism. Right? We are on the West, and the West is more hedonistic, much more materially based. If you can go eastwards and you'll get people that are completely distanced. It's good you're asking. Completely distanced from the physical world. They see through physical illusions completely. The problem is they're not interacting with the world, and God wants us to interact with the world. He wants us to work. He wants us to be in this world for a reason. That's why He put us here. He wants us to enjoy it. He wants to take the physical, we've got to take the physical and elevate it into spiritual. So the Jewish world is about mixing the two. But don't get overly indulged in the physical where you're in this illusion that this is all my joy, this is all my life. This is the big problem. Okay, seeing through physical illusions. Listen to this. I want to tell you a beautiful midrash. Okay? It says like this. Yismach lev mevakshei Hashem. It says that those that seek God are happy in their hearts. Okay. 1 second. Maybe I wrote it somewhere else. I do not see it. Oh, whatever. Basically, Yismach lev mevakshei Hashem. There's a midrash that says like this. If you, in your life, feel suffering, it's because Pikudei Hashem yesharim esamchei lev. Those that are connected to God are happy in their heart. It's because there's a lack of oneness with God in your heart. This is the answer. So that's really the meaning of it. Okay, seeing through physical illusions means that you are able to see connection to God as opposed to overly connected to your physical stuff and things. Okay. What else did I write here? Oh, what happens if you are jealous of people? And you say, oh, this happens, I'm down. Why? Because this guy's got a job. This guy's got money. This guy's doing really well. This guy's got a wife. This guy's got... What should you be telling yourself at that moment?
Gratitude.
Okay, gratitude is one thing we said.
That person could be lacking a lot of things in their life that we don't know about.
Good. See the whole picture. Don't just focus on one thing. Right? It says, don't be jealous of your friend's wife, your friend's money, his donkey, which means his car, his things, all the things he has. Don't be and then it says, don't be jealous, but it says, don't be jealous. Then it says, v'chol asher l'recha, and everything your friend has. Why? It lists a bunch of things, his wife, his money, his car, and then everything he has. Why? Because the Torah is telling me how to deal with jealousy. You're jealous of this specific thing. You're jealous of that specific thing, but you don't see his whole picture. The Torah is saying, Lo tachmod kol asher l'recha. Go and look at his entire picture. See his parents, see his dad, yeah? You think you could see his whole family, his whole life, from beginning to end, and see if you can deal with it. Because if you had a choice, you would never choose it. Okay? So how do you deal when you are jealous? Ask yourself like this. This guy's got so much money, and he's doing really well. Is he eating his money physically? All that gold that he collected, is it food? Is it something you can eat? Is he different to me in terms of the way he eats? No. Does he still do the things I do? Does he have the basic needs I have? Yes. So what is all this collection of gold going to help him in terms of the basic things that I have? Okay, he has a great car, but can he get from A to Z? Yes. I can also get to A to Z with my car. Although it doesn't have a mirror on it, but I can still get from A to Z in it. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Don't ask yourself, oh, I wish I had this and this thing that he has and that thing. No, ask yourself like this. The things that I'm jealous of, does he need it in order to live? Are those things that he eats and lives by? Okay. So that's, I wrote a few ideas here. Someone who's wealthy. Think to yourself like this. 200 years ago, someone was making as much money as he is. Where is that person now? 200 years ago, all the people that were wealthy 200 years ago, where are they now? Where is all their wealth? All gone, just like that. Think about it. Right? So make those calculations in your head of, am I really suffering because I don't have what that person has? Okay. What happens if someone had lots of money in stock? He had lots of money in stocks, and he's, wow. And then all of a sudden, the market crashed. Did that person change? Physically, did he change? No. He didn't even have the cash in his pocket. Nothing changed. He's the same person 5 minutes ago as he is now. Sometimes he doesn't even know that the market dropped, and he's living his life regular, thinking in his head that he's a millionaire, but in reality, he lost all his money. That's perspectives. It means that you really think to yourself, okay, how are these things so important? Okay. Next, we said, find meaning in challenges. Oh, it's taking time. Okay, we're almost there. Number 7, find meaning in challenges. This is emunah. Before I have an answer. Suffering is before I have an answer. I don't know why, but this is hard for me. Whatever the challenge is, somebody is suffering. So what's the problem? We don't know how to suffer. This is the problem. We don't know from a Jewish perspective that there's a tachlit yisurin. The Talmud says, yesh tachlit yisurin. There's a purpose in every time you face a challenge. If you put your hand in your pocket, you get the wrong coin, there's a purpose in that. Maybe it cleans you from your mistakes in the past. Maybe it makes you a better person. Maybe it makes you appreciate the fact that you have money. If you pull out the wrong key from your pocket and you try and open the door, what's that meant to remind you of? All the times you have a key that is able to open the door. One time you pulled out the wrong key, it reminds you of all the times you have the right key. You pull out the wrong key and you try and open the door, it reminds you that you have a door. It reminds you have a home. Every challenge has a purpose. That is a Jewish perspective in emunah, faith. Emunah means that I trust the future. I don't know the future, but I trust that there's something good going to come out of this. I don't know why, but something good is going to come out of this. That's called Kol man de'avid rachmana letava avid. That's what Rabbi Akiva used to say. Everything that God does is for the good. Everything's for the good. Okay? So, find meaning in challenges. Everything Hashem does is for the good. Number 8, stop comparing. Who said stop comparing before? Adam. Why? This is to do with bitachon. Bitachon is after. Emunah, what's the difference between emunah and bitachon? These are two words that are constantly used for faith. Emunah is before I have an answer. Bitachon is after I have an answer. I went to the store, I bought something. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I shouldn't have bought it. Have you ever had that? Or you buy a brand new car, beautiful car, and then you start looking at the other cars that are similar, and you could have got, just die, leave it. You bought your car, move on. Right? Bitachon is after. I made the choice, be happy with my choice. Okay? God made a choice. He put me in this world with this family. For the past 20 years, I sat down doing nothing and I didn't do anything with my life. That was my choice. I made mistakes, but now I'm not going to compare myself to other people. One of the biggest problems in happiness is that you compare. This is the biggest challenges of happiness. I did print oh no. Okay, wait, I have somewhere some notes. Looking for it, 1 second. Almost done. I wrote something very important in regards to this. Mod chashuv. 1 second. So it says like this. Stop comparing. So I wrote like this. Paradox of choice. Have you heard of the paradox of choice? So the paradox of choice is a phenomena that when you have more choice, you're more unhappy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what they discovered. First of all, you go into the store, let's say, and you see, this is the genius of Trader Joe's. They have less choice. They have, one or two types. What? Costco. Well, Costco has another paradox. It's like too big. But anyway, paradox of choice. So you go into a store, you see 1,000 types of cereals. First of all, the actual choice is hard because you don't know what to decide. You've got too many things in front of you. Then you have high expectations. Once you make a choice, you're like, this better be good. After I saw so many and I chose this one, this better be good. So you have high expectation that it's good. And then you're also more likely to regret the choice. Once you eat it, you're like, but there was 10 others. Why didn't I choose that one, that one, that one? That one looked better. It had more cinnamon than that one. Right? So when you have so many choices, you're more likely to not be happy with your choice. So what am I telling you? That we, by nature, the more we compare, the more it takes away our joy. The more you compare to other things, you see many, then when you try the thing that you actually want to eat, you regret all the other things and you're not happy. You wish you had that one and you wish you had that cereal. Why did I choose this one? Stop comparing. That's the message. Okay. So, another idea. This is very important about comparisons. What does it say in the Torah? When we get married, one of the brachot we say, the 7 blessings we say, may you be happy to the couple. Sameach tesamach, be happy. Re'im ahuvim, lovers. One of the 7 blessings under the chuppah. Yesamecha chayetzircha kegan eden mikedem. May God make you happy like you were in Gan Eden. Who was in Gan Eden? Who was in the Garden of Eden? Adam and Eve. We're blessing the couple that you should be happy like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Hello, I'm not in the Garden of Eden. How can I make such a blessing? This is one of the 7 blessings we make at a wedding. You should be as happy as Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Tell me, how can that be? We're not in the Garden of Eden. Listen, you can hear noise from the neighbors. Right? We're not in the Garden of Eden. What's the answer? The answer is, that's the blessing. You should be as happy as Adam and Eve. Who was in the Garden of Eden? Only Adam and Eve, no one else. That's the bracha. That you should look at each other and not compare each other to anyone else. The minute you start comparing, your relationship will fall apart. What's a happy relationship? Like the couple in the Garden of Eden. where there was only you and her. Comparing is not helpful. Okay, so that's the other thing I wanted to say. Stop comparing. Next, feed your soul. You ever had it? You went, you shopped, you bought stuff, you did everything you could. You've got a new house, you have a car, and you still feel unhappy. What's going on? Why am I unhappy? The answer is you're feeding your body, not your soul. You have to feed your soul. So number 9, are you feeding your body or also your soul? Make sure you're feeding your soul as well. Physical pleasures are temporary, spiritual fulfillment lasts. And how do we get more real spiritual connection? Any answers? Right? Torah. Torah's one. How do we feed our soul?
Come to Taco Tuesday.
Come to Taco Tuesday.
That's
Good
right.
plug-in. Right, go on. What else?
Some McAllen.
Huh?
Some McAllen.
What's that?
McAllen.
Oh, McAllen, a bit of l'chaim, of course, in the right time. A very little bit. Okay, go on. It says, Ma'at Tov, there's 7 things or 6 things that the Talmud says a little bit is good and a lot is very bad. One of them is wine, or alcohol. Huh?
We would extend it to alcohol in general.
In general, maybe alcohol is in general. Okay, anyone else? What else can we do to be more spiritual? Shabbat, social. What about music?
Music's amazing.
You could thank God with music. David HaMelech, wow, but tupimu mimcholot. The whole, you should know that when we start prayer, what is it? The whole thing is singing songs of David. Mizmor David. We're singing songs of David, then we pray. Why? Because we sing our way into joy and gratitude, and then you start praying. When David HaMelech said Tehillim, when he sang to God, he was eventually singing about the mountains, singing about the sun, singing about the whole world. The whole world is singing with him. When you're in joy, the whole world is joyous with you. Even things become joyous with you, like we said before. Okay, so feed your soul. We said you could do that by singing, by music, by prayer, by Tehillim, by Torah study, and anything else. Okay, what else? Listening to a podcast, studying the Torah portion every week, Shabbat, all these things. Okay, someone told me I'm depressed. I said, what do you do? He says, well, I'm not really working much. I said, what else? Well, I don't know. Are you working out? No. He says, he's not working out. He's not doing it. He's not even trying to get a job. He's not involved Jewishly. He's not doing anything Jewish. I said, do you eat kosher? No. So he eats whatever he wants. Give the list. Shabbat? No. He's not doing anything. Said, what do you expect? I'm not happy. What do you expect? Eat what you want, say what you want, think what you want, watch what you want. I'm not happy. Of course you're not going to be happy. You have to do something to your mind to change it in order to be happy. So what is it? Feeding your soul. It's one of the most important things, which is connected to also what we said beforehand, seeing through physical illusions. The way to see through physical illusions and not make it everything is by connecting spiritually. You have to have something to hold on to in order to move past all the physical illusions. Okay, and number 10 is take action, do your part. Esther didn't just pray. Okay, in the story of Esther, Megillat Esther, what happened? She said, I'm going to go to Achashverosh. I wasn't called into the king. And what's the rule? If you're not called into the king and you go in, what happens? You're killed. And she's the queen. But she said, listen, if I go in there and ask for the Jewish people to be saved, the king's going to kill me straight away. Do you know why they did that? Because the king had an inferior complex. He always thought someone's going to come and kill me. That was the biggest problem with monarchy back in the day. They were always afraid that the person that's closest to them is going to whip out a sword and kill him and take over his position. That was the greatest fear of the monarchy. Everyone was scared of the king, and the king was lonely. He was on a high throne, and no one can come near. Anyone who comes near, immediately kill him. Why? Could come to him. Because unless I call you, you can't come. So Esther said, I can't go. If I go, he's going to kill me on the spot. So then she says, but I have no choice. I have to do it. So then she says, fast for me. Everyone fast. The whole Jewish people should fast and pray. And they did. And then what does she do? It says that Esther still dressed beautifully. She wore the most beautiful clothing and still went on her best performance to the king. Why? Anyway, you might die. Why are you going in? You're not allowed to go in anyway. Why make the effort? From there we learn, one of the places we learn, that you've got to put in your effort. Even if you think it doesn't matter anyway. Okay? Put in your part. Do your part.
Never know.
You never know. That is a very important lesson. What does Hashem say? Leman yevarecha Hashem Elokecha b'chol ma'aseh asher ta'aseh. God will bless you with all your money. You get blessed, but you have to do. You can't just sit in your house and say, okay, I'm waiting for the money to come. Send it down from the mountains, from the skies.
It works, but it takes a long time.
It takes a long time.
In the next life, it comes.
In the next life. It doesn't work like that. God says in the Torah, you have to put in action. So these are the 10 things. Number 10 is take action, do your part. Trust in Hashem, but also put in your effort. So between all these 10, I believe these are the 10 commandments to be happy. If you take them and take them to heart, ask yourself every once in a while, okay, I'm not happy. Wait a second. I'm not doing enough. Oh, that's simple. Or feed your soul. That's easy. And these are very, very important. This is based on many classes I've given on happiness separate, but I decided to put it into 10 simple ways that we can increase happiness in our life. Okay, any questions or ideas or thoughts or?
I feel so much better.
You do?
Yeah.
Good.
Ready for,
Great.
ready for the rest
Ready
of the
to
week?
embrace the rest of the week?
Yes.
Rest of
We
the
should
month,
be
of
ready.
course.
Yes.
The month, the year. We need reminders
Feel
sometimes.
energized. That was really good.
Amazing.
What does it mean by a friend? I think it's Mishnah, right? Or
It's in Pirkei Avot.
convert.
Aseh lecha rav ukneh lecha chaver. Make for yourself a master and buy yourself a friend. Rabbeinu Yonah says, if it's a good person, pay your way into getting it. Even pay. Buy time with him. Take him out for lunch. Take him out for dinner. If you want a good friend, invest in it. Kneh lecha chaver. Don't say, oh, wow, I'm going to pay money to be around. He should be paying to come with me. No. If you want to be in a good surrounding, buy your way in. That's not bribe your way in. It's not a bad thing.
We can't buy or can't afford without time, putting the time.
Yeah, these are.
Whatever it means to the person, but it uses the word buy. Even the thought of paying for the time for the guy or the girl.
Invest.
Investing doesn't necessarily need to be.
Rabbeinu Yonah says it, mamash, mammon, money.
But it could be.
Putting your energy versus getting it for free.
Yeah?
Energy doesn't have to be
Doesn't only have to be.
No, it's putting your energy into something, and money is an abstraction of energy.
Right. You work to make it, and now it's your energy.
Start, they start liking you, but then you need excuses to go out with them or take them for lunch. Oh, let's go out. There's a
Actions
lot to
speak
do
louder
that.
than words
And
sometimes.
it does work for people who they want to get in certain environments.
People always ask every time, if I'm happy with what I have, how am I going to be ambitious?
Yeah.
How am I going to try and make more money? How am I going to be ambitious? And what's the answer?
To make others around you happy.
The answer is that it's a myth. It's a myth.
No, you could be happy but want more because you want more.
Not only that, when you are happy, you naturally want more. Rav Noach Weinberg used to say, a person that's happy, who follows all of these rules, how does he get up the next morning? He thinks, wow, I have health, I have eyes, I have teeth, I have legs that work, I have my hands work, my brain works, I can think, I can talk. How does he wake up the next morning? Let's go.
Let's go.
How does somebody, even if he's got $1 million, my boss, my job, it's annoying, I hate it, he goes to sleep, how does he wake up the next day?
Same way.
Not too much.
Worse or, right? How do you wake up with good energy? The answer is, if you're grateful, if you are happy with what you have, if you are content. It's a myth that if you're happy with what you have, you're not going to be ambitious for more. It's false. You have more energy, you do more, and you can achieve much more. With inner joy, you will get up with more energy.
Can I add something also?
Yes,
to that?
please.
Something that came up also, in our girls' classes and, the Thursday nights that I did mention. I found that the happiness part is so important because a lot of the times what people point out It could be men and women. So hard to find someone. Dating is so hard, which I'm not saying it's not. But I say, the first step is, we've heard that thought or quote, like you need to date yourself first. What does that mean? You gotta get to know yourself, you gotta to invest in yourself. We can't go out there looking for someone, but we don't know who we are. We're arrogant, we're angry, we're unhappy. It's an energy that comes across, even if we're trying to fake it at the time, at the date, it's something that people feel, and it's not attractive. So when people work on themselves, on their inner, peace and happiness, things do work out. And I've seen it. I can give an example that, I like to give because it's something that's so close to me. My sister, 8 years ago, she got divorced. She was married for a very short time, got divorced. And my parents celebrated. It was like a big celebration because it was the right thing to do, and she needed to do that. Took her 8 years or 7 years to find her husband. She's now happily married, and they're just made for each other. And we're like, where was he 8 years ago? But obviously, things had to happen that way for her. And I remember that maybe halfway through, I went to one of the Kabbalists, like I wanted to get a bracha, blessing for her that she would find someone really soon because it wasn't an easy time. And he told me, tell your sister, if she works on herself, on her inner growth and peace and happiness, she'll find someone within 3 months. Now that didn't happen, because clearly she probably had work to do. And she tells us now, after it took her a few years to really figure out herself and what she needed and to work on herself, be happy with who she was, become who she needed to be to meet that guy. So it's mind-blowing, and I've seen it with people. And you know what, we say that the least time that you expect to meet someone, you meet them, because then you're not stressed, you're hopefully trying to be yourself, and hopefully you do invest in yourself. Spirituality and personal growth, which we have to do.
And they go hand in hand.
It does.
Oh, this is the note I wanted to share with you before.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if you want, you can go, it's fine. But this is something I wanted to share with you before about finding meaning in challenges, because it's not always easy. And then when there's challenges, you lose money or whatever, you're not making money. This is very important. It says like this in Tehillim. This is the verse I was looking at. Al tismechi oyavti li, David said, don't let my enemies be happy, ki nafalti, that I fell. Don't let them be happy that I fell. Kamti, ki eshev b'choshech, because I got up. I might sit in dark, but Hashem is my light. I am connected to Hashem and He's my light. So listen to what it says in the Midrash. It says like this. What was he saying? He's saying that from everything that he suffered, good was coming out of it. And he saw that good is going to come out. Mitoch kaas ratzon. And it says like this, Midrash says like this. Every time you feel like there's anger in the air, know deep down that there's also ratzon. Someone wants you. You feel there's anger, it's because someone wants you. It says, whenever you feel discomfort, mitoch rogez, it's another form of anger, or discomfort, rachamim. Know that there's mercy coming out of it. Mitoch tzara, revacha. Whenever there's pain, what comes after pain? Relief. Whenever there's a pain, it's about to give you relief. Okay? Let's say a birth. So it's painful, but then it's the relief. The whole baby's going to come out, and it's like, wow. Okay? So mitoch tzara, revacha. But everything in life, whenever you feel like you're being constrained, what's going to be the next thing coming out of it? Relief. Like, wow. Okay, wow. Okay. So he says like this, mitoch richuk kiruv. Whenever you feel that someone's distancing themselves from you, actually, they're doing it in order to come closer to you. Whenever there's a relationship, and you feel like the relationship is, there's a distance. Why is there a distance? Because you're close. Because closeness is there to come back. Right. I just find these words. So, mitoch nefila kima. Whenever you fall, it's going to be followed by getting up. Whenever there's a falling, from that falling will be a getting up again. So anyway, that's finding meaning in challenges. That whenever you find a challenge, know that what comes after it is the exact opposite. And that's how we have joy. We have joy. We know we're in pain. Sometimes people are suffering. They know that they're challenged, but they know also that there's a light that's going to come out of it that's going to help them. People go through a lot of challenges, but those challenges, they themselves are the place for which I'm going to platform growth and become a great person. So anyway, that's, yeah. Anyway, any other thoughts, ideas you want to share? Good stuff. What was your favorite one?
Finding light in challenges.
Oh, there you go. Find light in challenges.
From darkness to light.
Gratitude. Gratitude is important.
Grateful for what you have and then using that to fuel you to go for more versus like what you lack. Then you're
Right.
not going to feel energized.
You're not going to
And
energy.
not comparing yourself to others.
Comparing is very important.
And in the distance thing, that was huge. Distance yourself to come closer. Constraint to release, that was also
Yeah. Mitoch richuk bakiruv. It's interesting. Sometimes distance is because you're close. Like, let's say you're in a relationship and suddenly they want a distance from you. Why are they doing that? Because you're too close. Right. Meaning there is a closeness there. It's coming. I find that a lot of times whenever there's, let's say anger. Someone's angry. Why are they angry? Because they care. I'm not justifying the anger. But anger's coming from a place that really I care. I'm bothered by the situation. I'm not expressing it right. But in every place that you see a challenge, there's a good place in it. And we believe that over time, that good space will come out even stronger.
It can also be a way to let go, right? That distance can be kind of a sign for you to realize to let that thing go.
Of course, yeah. Sometimes...
When you're too close, sometimes you're not clearing out. You have to take a step back to zoom out and really see what's going on. Without that, you can't even make decisions.
No, because you're close.
Too close, yeah, sometimes.
It allows you to come closer. See, that's this language is very deep. I mean, you have to really meditate and think about these words. But
Come closer to someone else or like Hashem or...
right, sometimes you have to disconnect to connect.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
That's what we're saying. You have to... Some people...
The reset.
Yeah, some people I know leave Judaism and they come back with a full force.
Yeah.
They grew up religious or whatever, and they said, "Oh, it's too much. I need the distance," and then they come back, wow, flaming, with a vengeance.
Slingshot.
So the richok is for kiruv. The richok is for kiruv. They went away to be able to make their own decision, to be able to think, and then they come back with a vengeance. So a lot of times we face a challenge. We don't know why. Why am I going through this? Why? Because it's going to bring me closer. It's a distance, but for now, it's temporary. Actually, the end result is closeness. Anyway, it was good times.
Yeah. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.